I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our weekly opportunity meetings. We do this every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but this isn't our standard approach to sharing our pool funding opportunity. We really have a very simple way of sharing our opportunity with other people, and it doesn't really require you to bring them into a meeting. Okay, actually, I'm gonna share with you what I would do if I were you, in sharing pool funding with other people, and it would start by putting an image or a poster in front of them, and give it about 45 seconds to see if it resonates. If it doesn't, move on. Okay. All right. We don't have to sign up everybody, guys. With the way pool funding works, it only takes a handful of referrals to be, amass wealth. Okay. But you don't have to have a huge team or anything like that in order to be very, very well off. And there's going to be people through our wealth creation side of what we're doing that even if they have little to no team, they actually could come out really ahead and actually also enjoy some wealth, even if they don't have any referrals. Okay, so or if they only have a one or two. Okay, all right, so share my screen. What I would do is I'd put this poster in front of people and I would just go for it. So Hunter, play with me a little bit. Okay. Like I'm going to present this to you. So Hunter, what's the first thing that pops out when you look at this?
Honestly, the first thing that pops out is it's a rather intriguing image. Lots of vibrant colors here,
Uh-huh.
but
Oh,
I imagine that's probably not what you're looking for.
it is colorful. Yeah. Any part of the wording kind of grab you?
Now, the question of receiving hundreds of dollars in my first weekend, that leaves me a bit skeptical. And of course, I'd be interested to learn more about it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said that because I think that's how most people are. So I think you're just a regular person looking at this the regular way with that response. Okay. So basically, I'll just go through the poster from the top to the bottom if you don't mind. Let's take a look at a powerful business opportunity where we provide the funding to get started. You'll receive hundreds of dollars your first week without any expense coming out of your pocket to join us. So, on face value, good deal, not a good deal.
Good
Pretty
deal.
good deal, I'd say.
Okay, good deal. So, setting aside your skepticism for a moment, we can say that's a good deal that you could receive without having to pay first. Okay. Plus, this business takes very little time to operate. Um, and we say, wow, that's powerful. Wouldn't you agree?
Agreed?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to, put a short, like 1 minute video in front of you. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
All right. Let's do a 1 minute video. Let's see here. Let me just go find it. It's going to be over here. Okay, so that should look familiar, right? Okay, let's watch that one.
Yeah.
What if you could start a powerful business today without spending a single
Now, technically, I'm not going to play the whole video since we are recording, but guys, that's it. That's how I would sign people up. Poster, 1 minute video, and they either get the idea that we're trying to give them something, not take something from them, and they just have to say yes to receive. Is that going to be hard or easy for you guys?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I hear some people say easy, so some of you are quiet. Does the ones that are quiet, are you saying still hard, or are you saying you're just quiet?
I'm the ultimate skeptic.
What's that?
Easy.
I said I'm the ultimate skeptic.
Yes, the ultimate skeptic, and I can appreciate that. We don't mind skepticism because I always say it's good to have an open mind. You know why you need an open mind, Steve?
I'm back and sit with you since you're still here.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm talking to Steve, right? Am I getting the right guy?
Yep, you still got me? Yep.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the reason why it's important to have an open mind is because if you're not completely satisfied with the way life is going, and I find the more skeptical a person is, the less satisfied they are about how life is going. Okay. Would you consider that a true statement?
Yes.
Oh, yes and no, but
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, there tends to be a source of it, right? So why people are skeptical or leading with skepticism. But usually they're not happy with the way life is going for themselves personally, and therefore they kind of shelter in place with their skepticism to maybe prevent. It's a kind of a way to protect themselves in a way, right? They don't want to bring harm to themselves, obviously, and I can appreciate that. But the problem is with a closed mind, nothing's going to change. So the true statement here is, in order for things to get better, you have to get better. For things to change, you got to change. That's the correlation there. And without an open mind, there isn't an opportunity in order to make that happen, in order to make a positive change in your life. So keep that in mind. But I also will say, on the other hand, like I said, it's a good idea to have an open mind, but you certainly don't want to have such an open mind that's so open that your brains slide out, right? So it should be measured. It should be measured. And again, skepticism can play a healthy role right there in a measured response. Okay. All right. That being said, the opportunity that we're putting in front of people is like, look, we have a powerful business opportunity and we're very proud of it. Our opportunity is so good that we're willing to lead with a giveaway to set ourselves apart from the millions and millions of other different opportunities you could be looking at right now. Because the bottom line is that we don't have a deficit or a lack of opportunities to look at. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
I mean,
Agreed.
it's endless. Yep. You can't even keep up. Am I right? And so in order to set ourselves apart from all the rest and to tell everyone that we're the best, we're saying, you know what? How about we give you some money and we kind of, get your attention long enough to show you how powerful our business is. And then after you've received something and you're starting to enjoy the benefits of belonging, then we can take it step by step from there. And how about that for an approach? Is that a good way to set ourselves apart, guys?
Sure.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
Now, the first concern people have will say, well, you're not after my money, but you must be after my time. What if I told you we're not? We're not after your time. And after watching that other video, which I didn't play the whole thing, I only played a few seconds of it here on this recording. But in that video, it said, if you have time to make toast, you have time to do this business. Those of you that have been in the business for a while, true statement or not true statement?
True.
Very true.
So we're talking maybe
True.
2 minutes of your time a day. So if we're not after your money and we're not after your time, then what are we after? What's the point of all this? Well, what we're after is your attention, because we have not only a powerful business opportunity, but more importantly, we have a message that we want to spread around the world, that we can do it. And we can do something together that will make this a better world for everyone, not just some of us. Okay. So for those of you that may not know, my wife is Filipina, and we've been together for a long time, since the year 2012. So Jiminy Crickets, how long has that been? It's 2025, 2012. You do the math. It's been a while, right? And I've been living in the Philippines ever since we met, and it just works out great for both of us that way. So you can tell by my accent, I am American from the West Coast, and I've been living in the Philippines since 2012. but I don't stay here. It's really kind of a jumping point for me. It allows me to, as I earned millions before I came here. So, the Philippines gives me a way to, go all over the world, and I can jump from here to there from here. So I'm constantly traveling and doing things like that over the years. All right. So if you hear do you guys hear the roosters and things like that in the background? Sounds like I'm in a barnyard.
Not today.
Oh, you can't hear it
Nope,
today?
I don't hear them.
Okay, well, I hear them. They seem to be going off, but every once in a while they may come through and you may hear that. Just realize that, you know, I've decided that, that the laptop lifestyle is the way to go. I've got my laptop here out by my pool in my home here in the Philippines, and enjoying life. But here in the Philippines, um, these animals are running around, free range. They're all over the place. There's more of them birds running around here than dogs, and we got quite a few dogs too here as well. So I have an outdoor office. I consider where I live to be paradise, and so welcome to paradise. That's what it's like. All right. Now, moving on. So we would start with that poster, and if for some reason they get blocked right there, you might be dealing, you might be dealing with a very closed mind at that point if you can't get past that poster, like it doesn't nothing gets traction. Then honestly, guys, we can't save the world. We just go one person at a time, okay? And if after 45 seconds of effort with having a discussion about a simple image, if that doesn't quite grab them where they want to go to the next step, then probably it's probably best that you don't go to the next step, which would be the video. Okay. But in the case that they have just enough interest that you could say, okay, let's move on to the 1 minute video. And, I got to be honest with you, a lot of what we're doing is in response to what's happened to humanity over the last 10 years. Humanity's attention span has shrunk. Would you guys agree?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely agree. Yep.
We can barely tolerate a 30-second commercial these days, right? So,
Yeah.
And so that's why we want to get to the point, get to the meat of what we're trying to talk about. And the meat is like, we want you to, take advantage of a giveaway. We have a giveaway. Let me share my screen. We have another video. We have a video that's 2 minutes long, and we call it our 777 giveaway. Okay, where literally a person can get $777 in their first week with us, even if they never paid a single cent during that entire week. Okay, they're going to end up getting something of great value, something that's I would consider money, and it's something that by holding on to it, it actually, appreciates in value. And in that 2 minute video, it talks about, okay, you're going to be holding on to about 90 days, and then we should triple in value, which would turn 777 into about $2,300. You tell me, guys, is it better to cash out 777 today, or better to, wait 3 months and get $2,300? Which one's better?
Wait.
Yeah. Most people would say wait. And then I tell you that we also have an opportunity for you to join us as one of our co-founders, because we're in the formation process of what we're doing, and we're looking for co-founders. Actually, we're looking for about 10,000 co-founders. Okay. And that's because we're developing something known as a decentralized autonomous organization, and those are quite large. So unlike your traditional structures that you see, like with, a CEO, board of directors, that kind of structure, there's a new thing that's been working quite well ever since
I lost your sound.
Ever since the invention of Bitcoin, known as a decentralized autonomous organization, and we are looking for 10,000 co-founders for that. Now, in that, we are for those people that are vetted after 1 year, then you could end up getting 10 times, what you're holding. So let's just say you were holding on to $2,300, okay, from the original giveaway. Okay, and then that went up in value. Not it didn't go up in value, but we actually added to it a bonus on top of it after a year of $23,000, right? Because you didn't spend the 2,300, right? Right. If you don't spend the 2,300, we can bonus it. If you spend it, then we can't bonus it. So would you rather have 2,300 in 3 months from now and then and nothing a year later, or would you rather have 23,000 on top of the 2,300 a year from now? Which sounds better to you guys?
1 year.
Waiting a year, right? Okay. So all of that aspect I've been talking about so far falls onto the wealth creation side of what we're doing. Now, in addition to that, basically we are, we have a connection to the market. Okay. So the reason why we have a lack of interest in your money is because we know you don't have as much money as the market does. Okay. We want to go where the money is, and we know it's not your pocket. Okay. The money is over there in the market. And that's what we're after. We're after getting the money that's in the market and then have that abundantly flow through our community. How does that sound to you guys?
Sounds good.
Very interesting.
Sounds fantastic.
All right. And that's the whole point of pool funding. Okay. Is that we recognize where the money is. We recognize that there's a lawful way to get it, a lawful, we're not hurting anyone. No one's going to get hurt. No one's going to, no one's got to be worried about any negative consequences. Okay. Well, a lawful way to go in and, be part of the market and operate in such a way that we can actually, create wealth there. Right. And then to top it off, we want to add to that a way to receive cash flow now. See, all this time I'm talking about wait and wait and wait. Well, no one wants to wait. They got bills to pay today. Am I right?
Right.
Okay.
I,
Okay. So let's talk about paying your bills today. Let's change the topic from wealth creation, which is one aspect of what we're doing, over to cash flow. Okay. Now, how many of you guys only want to get paid once a month? How many of you are interested in that deal? Only getting paid once a month. Who's interested? Anybody interested in that?
Yeah.
How many people are tired of the deals that are once a month? How many of you are tired of those deals?
I am.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then there's some deals out there that pay you once a week. Are you tired of those deals too? You tired of getting paid once a week? Are you tired of that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
How many of you would prefer to get paid every day?
Now we're talking.
Actually, it's better than getting paid every day. How would you like to just get paid instantly? The moment the transaction happens, you're paid. How about that?
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Okay. And what if I told you in the process of getting paid instantly that you actually got to keep 100% of what was sent? All of it goes to you. How do you feel about that?
Sounds fantastic.
Good.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So let me share my screen here. I don't want to do that. Let me click on a different button. How do I close that? I want to go share screen. So what we're talking about here, guys, is something that was referred to as 100% commission. Okay. Now I'm not talking about the only way you get paid. You don't get a salary. You only get 100% commission. I'm not talking that kind of 100% commission. I'm talking about every single cent of the money being sent is being sent to you, and it's being done in a moment, instantly, and you don't have to ask for permission for your money. You just get it the moment the transaction happens. That's the kind of 100% commission I'm talking about. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
100%.
Yeah, that's 100%. You guys are happy with it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to allow you guys here in a minute or two, to interact with me and ask any question, but I'm kind of just putting my presentation out there. But basically, the normal way we do this is we're just one-on-one with someone, poster, 1-minute video, 2-minute video, and then from there they're ready to sign up, and then we go from there. And then basically, after they've signed up, then maybe at that moment or maybe within a day of that moment, they're going to receive $111, as part of our giveaway, and then we're going to do that for 7 days. Okay, so they're going to receive $111 for 7 days. But what happens, and I'm gonna explain this when I go to the website. Okay, what happens is the money is moving around. Okay, so there's movement happening, and it allows us to get into the market. Okay, and that's where the money is at, and that's what we're after. Okay, so basically, we use a currency known, I would say that this currency is the world's most popular digital currency in the entire planet Earth. Okay. It's known as Tether USDT. Okay. So Tether is kind of like the name, and it's otherwise known, by its letters USDT, meaning that it is a stable coin. Okay. Now, to clarify what a stable coin is, it's digital money that doesn't change value. Okay. So one USDT coin is always going to be worth $1 today, yesterday, next week, next month, next year, forever. Okay. Just doesn't change. Okay. One coin is always worth one paper dollar. And why is that? Because the way that the coin operates is that for every circulating digital coin, they actually have US dollars backing it up 1-to-1. Okay, so they're always adding to the coins that I'm not the coins, but the dollars that are put into the we'll just say vault, because we're in the digital world, things are a little bit different. So it's not like I'm talking about a physical vault in the sense that you are you have to walk in there. But although there is that too, right? But a lot of this has to do with the U.S. Treasuries and all that. But anyway, bottom line is that for every dollar that is circulating in coin, digital coin, there is literally a paper dollar behind it, backing it up 100%. How do you guys feel about getting paid commissions in that? How do you guys feel about that? So you're getting 100% commissions in something that's not going up and down. Okay. It's just the same. Okay. So this is how it works, is that there has to be an exchange. In order to enter into the market, one thing has to be exchanged for another. That's how markets work. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how it
Correct.
works. Now, with 100% commission, this allows us to, help one another. So I did start off at the very beginning of the presentation, the long spoon. Remember that? And they had trouble feeding themselves. The spoon's over here, and you can't, how are you going to eat with a big long spoon? How can you feed yourself with a long spoon? Really, not really possible, right? And then what that little group found out is that if they feed each other, then it works. So the long spoon can reach over, and you could feed someone else, and then you could feed someone else, and then they could feed you, right? Wasn't it a beautiful video?
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful video. Anyway, so the idea is that by working with each other, by doing something together, we can actually make it a better world. Okay, and that's really the aim and goal here of everything that we're doing here in Pool Funding, is to make it a better world. All right, so let me share my screen here. Right now, we have 3 of our 4 pools that are open right now. Okay. So go into our, let me just refresh this real quick. Okay. So this happens to be the account page for the $100 pool. Okay, right here. Okay. So basically, when you first sign up, it kind of looks like this. So for now, we're going to actually have something much easier soon. But right now, it looks like this. You have a referral link. And when people click on the referral link, they're going to end up at a page like this where we're asking for a username, email, full name, password, confirmation. And of course, we'll know which country you're coming from. We can route that. And then you click on, I agree to the terms and conditions. And, our terms and conditions are very much to the point. It only takes a moment to read them. Okay. So very, very clear terms and conditions, and then register. Okay. So most people don't bother reading terms and conditions because they're 5 pages long. We encourage everyone to read our terms and conditions because they're highly in your favor. And basically, when you read it, you'll understand that we built this for you. We built pool funding for you. So that's what it takes to get registered. Okay, very simple. Only takes about a minute. Doesn't cost anything. Once you register, you're going to end up having an account page like this on our website. But the boxes you see here, they're going to be empty. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So you can see mine aren't 0 anymore, are they? They're not zeros, right? Okay, so in the $100 pool, okay, what we do is, in our daily activity that we're doing, we're actually sending $100 every day. Okay, we're sending out $100 every day. And that $100 is going, most likely it's going to go to your sponsor. Okay, as long as the sponsor is active, it will go to them. Okay. To stay active, you just make a payment every day to stay active. So it's very simple. And then what happens, you end up getting $100 worth of our coin. Okay. In this case, our pool fighting silver coin. Okay. And then it's going to sit here in your account page for 90 days. And then after 90 days, it's seasoned and it's then going to be distributed into your digital wallet. This is what a digital wallet looks like. Okay. We use a third party called MetaMask. But in a short while, any digital wallet will work because we're setting up our system to work with any wallet. Okay, so we're about to make a change there. And then, so when it moves from here to your wallet, then that amount will then show up here as far as showing how much has been distributed, and it gets documented here that the amount of coin that went from your account over to your wallet. Okay. So it's all documented, and you get a digital receipt, something like this. This is what it looks like. People call this the blockchain. Okay. So you have a receipt from the blockchain showing evidence that you did in fact receive all of this. Okay. So that's how it works, guys. And then we have our $10 pool. Different coin. In this case, it's the bronze coin. It's the pool funding bronze coin. But everything is still true, okay? And then when it comes to the $1 pool, you're getting your let's see, this would be your iron coin. Yeah, iron, PFI. PFI stands for iron. You're getting, iron. So you see in this case here, we do this every day. So in the $1 pool, I've been making a payment here for 209 days. It's pretty easy to figure that out. Okay. And everything's documented. All the accounting is done for you. You don't have to, all the training is right below here. So all your training is right here. Okay. All on one page. Very convenient. All right. So basically what will happen is your sponsor will provide you $111. Okay. You'll click, and because it's 100% commission, instantly that same $111 they provided you will go right back to your sponsor. No big deal, right? Now, in the case of someone that is new and we don't really establish trust, sometimes what we do is we recommend people, do this maybe on the $1 pool until you establish trust with your referral, right? Just say, let's just practice this for maybe a week or so, $1 a day, because the sponsor sends the dollar, then they click, and the dollar goes right back to the sponsor, so they get the dollar, and then that gives them about a week or whatever to build that relationship of trust. Okay, so with people you already know and trust, just start with 111. They send it right back to you. And then boom, you've taken $111 USDT coin. It moved down to your person that you invited to join. They are using that, USDT coin to purchase our pool funding coin that's in the market, doing quite well, by the way. Okay. It's in the market. And when they do that, that 100% commission goes right back to the sponsor. So the sponsor's happy about that. Now, do you know what's better than a $777 giveaway? We actually have something better than that. It's $3,000 a month giveaway. So if you're excited about the $777 giveaway, you might be even more excited about a $3,000 a month giveaway. Anybody would be excited about that? Would you guys be excited about that?
Yes.
$3,000 a month? Okay.
Absolutely.
Is Steve West still here or did he leave?
I'm still here, Ice.
He's still
I'm
here.
listening.
You were over on my right side. Now you're on my left. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for piping up there, buddy. What do you think about a $3,000 a month giveaway? Does that sound better?
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Okay. So basically, we have this $3,000 a month. I love the expression on her face. I love it. Anyway, we have this $3,000 a month giveaway. Okay. And the way that works is after 7 days, okay, what will happen is you have to get one person for this to work. Okay. So the new person has to bring in at least one person that wants to receive the $777 giveaway. Okay. They got to do that. Okay. And then and once you have that, you're qualified then to get the $3,000 a month giveaway. Okay. So the $3,000 a month giveaway is basically you're going to send $111 by click, and it's going to go up to your sponsor, and your sponsor is going to send back $100. Okay. So really, if you're looking at from a point of view of out of pocket, okay, you're out of pocket $11, right? But since you got someone below you, right, and it's 100% commission, it only takes one person to break even, right? Make sense? Okay. So the person below you, after a couple of days, they're going to start sending you $111 every day, right? So technically, the $11 from the person below you is going through you, break even wise, all the way to your sponsor, and your sponsor is receiving that $111, right? And so it's not even out of your pocket. How about that? One person to make it happen, right? And if on day number 8, when you're doing the 111, if they don't have one person, then you pause. And maybe it's day 27, they find their one person, then you can start back up again. Okay. But start back up with the $3,000 a month giveaway, because they took longer than 7 days to find one person. You just wait for them until they get their one person. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the whole point of all of that is wealth creation happening with pool funding coins, which are appreciating in value. Okay. And it's kind of complicated for me to get into. I'd rather not in the presentation today, but the point is that we have a system that it's really balanced in a way to, basically assure that the price is just going to go up and up and up and up. Okay. So without going, it has to do with a lot with supply and demand, but it's more complicated than that. But the bottom line is that because of that feature, everybody wants our pool funding coin. They want something when it comes to wealth creation that's actually appreciating in value, So that's good. But when it comes to cash flow, you see when your referral sends you 111, and then you send back 100 as part of our $3,000 a month giveaway, month after month after month, right? You do that, you're keeping $11. So don't snuff like, oh, that's small change. It's not. It's every day. You know, if your boss came up to you and said, hey, we're going to give you a $4,000 raise this year, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people would say, great, cool, right? But a lot of people aren't getting raises this year. You know, a lot of companies can't afford to pass out raises. But if you got a $4,000 a month raise, and if you do $11 times 365 days, that works out to be $4,015. And that's just where it gets started. Ultimately, that referral, as they move through all four of our pools, we have four pools, the $1, $10, $100, and $1,000. As they move up there to that $1,000 pool with you, then the value of that referral is worth about $400,000 a year to you. One referral, 400,000. But basically, the way our system works is each referral has got a value of $11 to 400. From 4,000 a year to 400,000 a year per referral. Okay, so that becomes very valuable to you, and again, that allows you, this is all possible through the fact that we're accessing the market to make this work. Okay, so you're getting paid in USDT. That 4,000 a year, that 400,000 a year is stable dollars. Okay, so if you had four referrals and getting like 1.2 million a year on four referrals because they all joined you up in the $1,000 pool, that's all part of the a plan that takes less than a year. If you follow training, if you show up to training, it's hard to follow something you don't show up to, right? If you follow the training, then the idea is to get you to a point where in USDT coins coming in, okay, you've got over $1 million a year coming in year after year after year for the rest of your life. How many of you would like to have that? And how many of you like the time frame that it should take less than a year? How many of you like that?
I like it.
Good.
Okay, so there you go. So that's the presentation today. We have lots and lots and lots. We're getting very close to 400 videos on the channel there on YouTube. And one of the things you'll find out, like we are recording this, it's going to end, within 10 minutes of it being done, it's going to end up on YouTube. We are very transparent. So I've taken enough time to kind of, wet your whistle on the opportunity. And then, of course, ongoing, we're always open to, answering any question, concern, or issue that may come up ongoing. And always, we're very available and accessible and all that. Okay. All right. So at this point, Hunter, why don't you lead off the Q&A portion by just sharing your experience of what it's been like to be a member of Pool Funding and what you think about it. Since you're hosting today, they might be interested in what you have to say.
Right. So I've been in Pool Funding for a bit over a year now, and mainly I would want to talk about the community. The community itself has been excellent. One of the best communities I've been a part of in the crypto space. And I've been in the crypto space for about 13 years now. Needless to say, I've seen quite a bit in my time. But in our community, we're essentially all a team here. We're all here to pick each other up, not put each other down. And you can always find someone that has a positive thing today to say, and someone to help you if you need help, whether it be one of our excellent support staff or another member who's running into the same issue or the same thought before that you're having. And it's just an excellent community to be a part of. It's an excellent program to be a part of. And there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now, to be honest.
All right, well said. I sure appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so I don't see any questions in the chat right now. And, some people are shy. They put questions in the chat, and that's okay. You can just click on the little chat feature here in the Zoom and add a question there. But I'm also quite open to you just unmuting your microphone and popping out your question. I am the creator and the founder of Pool Funding, so you can't go higher than me, you know, on figuring out what this is all about, and anything that you want to get clarity on, I'm happy to provide that while we're here together today. So does anybody have any questions or even just commentary on what you think about what you're hearing about that so far? Anybody new that'd like to, ask a question? Okay.
I'll put my hand up.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead, Steve.
I think I've already asked this of my sponsor, but I'll word it a little bit differently. So we're paying in $11 a day, over 90 days before we can actually get a return. So if I put that, what does that come to? $33.99, $1,400 on a credit card or whatever. After that 90 days, and if the coin is worth enough money, am I able to withdraw that $1,400 to pay back my credit card? Is that pretty much where we're at?
Well, I really wouldn't put it like that, because I don't tend to, encourage people to create debt. So most people, when they hear the word credit card, they're thinking about going into debt. If you said debit card, I would have been like, well, that's your money. You can do what you want. But
yeah.
But
I could have said debit card, but
but I know a lot of people, you just kind of use
where I'm
those
coming from.
interchangeably. But no, what we're actually encouraging people to do is we have a system that, basically takes very little money, that it's $11 a day, but you got one person below you that's paying $11 a day to you. So it's really nothing out of your pocket. So put your credit card, debit card away. You don't need it. Okay. That's what we're saying.
Oh yeah. After you've got your first sponsor. Yeah. Referral.
But you could always go to the market, okay, and take advantage of something that is appreciating and load up on some more coin. And you don't have to wait 90 days. You can instantly get that the moment that you buy it from the market. Does that make sense?
Good point. Yep.
And you could buy as much as you want. And maybe you'll end up in our well club. And you saw how great the well club is, right?
Oh, yeah.
I estimate the value of being a member of the well club about $100 million over the next 20 years. So, yeah, I've got big plans for the well club. Okay. So,
yeah.
So basically, what we've done is we've systematized 90% of this so that very little is taxing you as an individual. It's not taxing your money, not taxing your time. It's not taxing your what do we want to call this? Like their, potential grief. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people roll the dice when they get into an opportunity and then they experience grief afterwards. We're not interested in taxing that either. We want our opportunity to be so outlandishly good that no one feels any pain and suffering being a part of it. How's that sound?
Yep, really good.
Okay.
I think that's one thing that maybe that's one thing I'm skeptical about, is that it sounds too good.
Hey, we haven't heard that before, guys, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find that's the number one objection to pool funding is it sounds too good to be true. But it's all quite evident, because that's what we want to prove to you in 7 days, that just experience it, then you won't have to know, you won't have to guess that this is true. You'll have already experienced it and know that it's true. Right? How about that?
Yeah, right. Yep, cool.
And that's how we overcome that objection of it sounds too good to be true. It's like, well, how about experiencing it for a week and then, try it before you buy it kind of thing. Experience it for a week and then you won't have to wonder if it is or isn't. You'll know. You'll know. So if you got
like Hunter said, sorry.
Yeah, just one more question, Steve, real quick. Do you have time to make toast every day?
Pretty much, yes.
All right, you can do this. You can do it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I have pressed pay now quite a few times.
2 minutes a day. Yeah, it's really quite simple. So, the website does all this work for you. I mean, don't take that for granted because there's a lot of, programming that went into it. But, so that you don't have to, right? And the vision we have for the future is we know that the jobs are disappearing because of technology, the AI, the robots, they're taking over every job out there. And I think humanity is making a big giant leap forward from my point of view. Okay. Some people see it as going to one giant leap into a dystopian future where the machine takes over. I'm not saying I don't buy into that. I think there will be a reality that experiences that, but I'm not going to be part of it, So, I'll be on a different timeline. But but yeah, this is an opportunity for humanity to actually spend more time in the pursuit of things that bring joy and happiness and less time chasing after the mighty dollar. How about a world like that? You interested in being part of a world like that?
Most certainly.
There you go. All right. Any other questions?
Speaking of AI, I I listened to a podcast yesterday where this dairy farmer spent $1 million on robotic milking and increased his profits by like 1.5 times. But
Yeah.
of course, that means 4 people are not milking the cows. So that's 4 jobs gone just like that.
Yeah, but between you and me, could you see yourself underneath that cow every day milking it?
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, and
I'd rather set up the machine.
I suppose that if you want to get right down to it, that if you get down to nature versus nature on nature, that it's actually better that a human's doing it. Yeah, I agree. The milk would probably come out with a little bit more of a human essence, right? And all that. It's probably better for us to have in fact, I can see marketing in the future. Our cows are milked by real human beings. I can see the marketing already.
Yeah.
Because of that element. But putting that element aside, I certainly wouldn't want to be underneath that cow every day milking it. That wouldn't be a job I'd be interested in. And I kind of feel bad about the people that feel like that's all that they can bring to the table as a human being, that's what they're going to, assign themselves to, for a living. You know what I'm saying? Unless they really, really have this love affair with cows. But I don't think most of the people milking cows have a love affair with cows, or maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. All I know is that, yeah, it is more profitable for the machines to do the jobs than it is for humans to do them. And that's not just milking cows. That's office work. I mean, right down the line, you could name it. You could name any industry, medical, anything, education, anything. AI and robots are going to do it better, and it's going to be more profitable. Yeah, that's the world we're going into. No stopping that. It's happening regardless of your opinion of it. It's happening. So we might as well make best use of it and say, you know what, since that's going to free up all of our time, why don't we just put our attention at where the money is? It's over there in the market. Here's what I've noticed, guys, over the last 20, 30 years. It really has accelerated that it's almost like the market has turned into flypaper when it comes to money. You know what happens when a fly hits flypaper? It gets stuck and it can never get off of it again, right? The way things are going, it's like we have these economies. Every country's got their economy, every town and city's got their economy, and then money from those economies starts to make its way into the market, but then it gets stuck there and it's never coming out, and it doesn't come back and circulate back into the economy. And they were all scratching our heads and going, "What's happening to the economy? What's wrong here?" When the realization is that, hey, we haven't really done a really successful solution on how to make sure money circulates back out of the market, back into the economies, and pool funding is addressing that. That's where all the money's at. Trillions, maybe more than trillions, but I get into the big numbers people can't keep up. All right. Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate your contribution and your questions today. Thank you so much for that. Where are you from?
Thank you, guys.
What part of the world are you in?
Western Australia.
Western Australia. Okay, so I'm a West Coast guy, and so are you, but I just happen to be a West Coast guy from the U.S.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
Steve West from the West.
That's right. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Speaking of US, though, let me introduce you guys to someone who's relatively new. Raquel. How are you doing, Raquel? You're what? You're not quite 2 months into this, but it's still over a month, right? You're right in that area. Pretty new with us. How's your experience been with pool funding as one of the newbies inside of pool funding?
My experience has been really good so far. I expect it to even get better. It took me a little bit to get out of my comfort zone and to wrap my head around how this is even possible. And obviously I've proven that I guess it is. I've got 7 referrals now, thanks to the help of my sponsor, Sherry, pushing me along.
Who's also in Australia, by the way, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Soon as those 7 people get their referrals and get moving, I'll be making $77 a day. So I can't wait for that to happen because that times 30 and on and on for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
My plan is to quit my job and get more referrals and help as many people as I can. So
Well,
yeah, I believe this,
you
and
do have someone
I
doing
don't
it
plan
really
on
well.
touching my tokens for at least a year.
Exactly.
I want to see how big that can build. So
Exactly. You've got
the
Cheryl's one of your referrals, right?
she is, and she has just exploded.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many people does Cheryl have now below her? She's here, right?
she is here. She came in late because she was on the verge of trying to sign somebody up already. So she
How
has
about that?
just been going like wildfire.
Uh,
I know she had a lot of guests she was going to bring in today, so she's going to pass me up here in the next day or so. So I got to get my butt moving.
so you must be the iPhone with the in parentheses 2. That's you, Cheryl?
That's me, yes.
All right.
I
How many referrals you got?
I have 6, and as soon as we get off tonight, I've got 3 more that I'm just finishing up signing in. So after tonight, I'll have 9.
Wow. Well, congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Each of you need to realize it only takes one to break
Impressive.
even, but that means the second, third, fourth, and onward to infinity, all of that's cash flow. Okay.
Yeah.
So only one to break
Yeah.
even, everything else is cash flow. So both Raquel and Cheryl are brand new, more or less, and they're cash flowing pretty nicely already, right? 4,000 a year per referral, right? So that
Yes.
definitely adds up. And Cheryl, your smile is contagious. It's like your mouth is attached to your ears, you know.
Well, I just want to share with you. It's been awesome. And, I did affiliate marketing. I'm thankful for that because it taught me how to market people and get people. And I had a list of 21 people that said, yes, they want to come tonight. And yes, they want to sign up. So my problem is right now is getting all these people. What's so exciting about it? I'm going to get in my main line, I want to get 16 people. Then those people I'm shoving to all the people underneath me and to Raquel if she needs any. So we are going to be an awesome team. You just wait until a month from now, you won't believe it.
So
Our
Cheryl,
goal.
how much experience did you have before pool funding with digital money?
Nothing.
So
Not a thing.
some people are scared of cryptocurrency. What's been
Well,
your experience with cryptocurrency so far that you've been playing around with it now for a little bit?
Well, with this, it's been great, but I will just share with everybody that I was scammed with cryptocurrency 2 years ago. $32,000 I lost.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, and so for Raquel, if I didn't love her so much and know her and trust her, I would have never gotten into this. But she just made it sound, and I go, okay, and the thing is, I said, okay, $111 versus 32, and if this really works for Cal, I'm on it. And now I'm so thankful that she gave me the confidence to be able to get in here because it works, you guys. It works, and it's awesome to see that. And the other thing is, it's awesome to see people that I've been able to reach out to that just had bad experience in some of their other affiliates, and I'm being able to get them in here. And I know that, with encouragement, and I'll be there every moment of the day that they need me to help them make back what they lost in other companies and stuff. So that's what my heart is right now, is to help others get that money back and paying off loans that they got to get into the other ones. So
That sounds like a good cause for sure.
yeah, and it's my passion and my push, I think, is why I
See, we're
need money.
pool funding is raising the standard for opportunities in the world by saying, look, if your opportunities are so damn good, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and pay it forward and provide a giveaway instead of asking for money up front. You know what I'm saying? We're powerful enough, we can do it. And if someone comes up with a powerful offer, then why can't people enter into it without having to pay anything? And we're proving that can be done.
Yeah. Yeah. And the problem with some of those, I mean, and I'll say it again and over again, is that I am so thankful for the classes that I was able to learn a lot about marketing and business and all that. And, I learned a lot. And even in, just living life, I went through a hard time, and it was able to help me. But then on the other hand, they keep on having the classes. They keep on having these deals that you have to go to. And I made, a little over $32,000. But then in the end, when I figured it up, I spent over $36,000 on their other programs, their other stuff that they more or less required you to take. So in the end, I lost money.
That's right. So that's what we want to avoid here. Okay. True abundance is something that is so big that you can't contain it, and it just overflows out of you, and the benefits of people around you. And certainly when you get a chance to build a team here, that's what you're doing, is having abundance overflowing into their lives and so on. So yeah, your experiences are definitely, I think, very helpful to hear, and people want to hear that kind of thing. And so, we are selling. Okay, there we go. I was just reading a comment here from Mary. I appreciate that, Mary. Anyway, so yeah, we have a fantastic offer. It's really risk-free. So why not, right? Why not try it before you buy it, right? And then from there, when it comes time to buying it, it's not like we're going to ask a lot of money. You got one person below you, so $11 a day for a week, maybe tops. And then after that, the referral below you is covering that $11 a day. And then from there, you just grow and navigate your way from one pool to the next. Let me just share one more image with you before we wrap up today. And this is kind of the idea of pool funding in a single poster. Okay, save and scale. So technically, you're able to be in all three pools with the giveaway from immediately. So instead of starting way at the bottom and working your way up, the giveaway allows you to experience being in the $100, $10, and $1 pool immediately, and then you only have to scale up from. It's like a two-stepper. Yeah, it's like a two-step plan from the 100 over to the 1,000. Okay, and just everybody's excited about getting in the $1,000 pool because if you've got 4 referrals and you're receiving $4,000 a day from those 4 referrals, and 1,000 of it you're paying to stay active, you got to be active in order to receive. Okay, so you make a payment every day, and then you're active every day, and then your referrals payments will go to you, all of them, all of that. If you're inactive, then we're actually reconstructing the system a little bit, where instead of it coming into what we call the guarantee fund, it goes actually to the sponsor next in line that's active above you. So that's where that's going. Okay, but that's currently not the case. But bottom line is that it takes $1,000 a day to stay in the $1,000 pool every day. Okay. But if you've got 4 people below you sending you $4,000 a day, you can afford it. And then what's left over is positive cash flow, and $3,000 per day times 30 days is $90,000 per month, and $90,000 per month is over $1 million per year in positive daily cash flow in USDT coins, not the pool funding coins, but the USDT coins, okay, which is spendable, easily convertible back to paper money, and spendable. You can use it to have the life that you've always dreamed of, okay? So that's pool funding in a nutshell in a single poster. And a lot of times you got to look at this thing over and over again to really understand it, because it is different, okay? It is not like anything you've ever seen before, quite unique, but unique in a good way, right? And the worst thing we got to overcome is the objection. Well, gee, that just sounds too good to be true. That's going to be the worst objection you're going to deal with, because they can't throw the suggestion objection. I can't afford it. They can't throw the objection at you. I don't have time for it. They can't, right? So those are usually the reasons why people tell you they don't want to join you on an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So the worst thing you got to deal with is someone saying, I can't believe it. And say, you don't have to, just try it. Then you won't have to believe, you'll know, right? Knowing is better than believing, right? So that's it, guys. So I want to thank all of you for coming out to another one of our weekly opportunity meetings that we do every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is convenient for a lot of us around the world, except for those in Europe. Those in Europe struggle because it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for them, and also Africa. Not exactly that convenient for them either. But we do have people who here is from Europe or Africa, because some people actually get up in the middle of the night to be here. Who's here? Do we have somebody here from Europe or Africa?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay. Usually Paul's here from the UK. But anyway, so yeah, we do have something that works for most people around the world. But again, you don't need this meeting in order to build a team. You're going to have plenty of marketing materials and support from your sponsor, your people above your sponsor, the general team leaders that are among us, and yours truly. How many of you have experienced me being on a call with your new people, and I'm the one that's kind of helping you get the new person to understand pool funding? How many of you been on one-on-one calls where I'm talking to your new people? Who's experienced that?
I have.
I have.
All right, so it does happen. So I make time. I make time to be there for you
More
guys.
than once.
More than once. There you go. I make time to be there for you guys. I'm reachable. You can reach me on Telegram at Bitcoin Ace 101. Okay, so that's how you can reach me on Telegram, and I'm happy to meet anybody and give them a shot at my time and have a conversation with them. And the great thing about Telegram is it's not just a way to send text messages back and forth to each other, but we can actually, click a button and start talking, and even turn on the video and have a video call using that. So I'm very grateful for that aspect of Telegram. But I love Zoom. I love the fact that we can group together like this on Zoom. I am actually paying for Zoom, so I get a little extra benefits and features by paying for it. But what a world we live in. Let's embrace the goodness of the technologies that are at our fingertips that bring us closer together. I'm way over here in the Philippines. I've had face-to-face conversations with my dad, my mother, my sister recently, even my ex-wife. So I've actually had recent conversation because of this wonderful technology that we have at our fingertips. And I certainly don't take it for granted. I love it. I appreciate it. And what a great world we're in, and pool funding's here to make it even better. So let's make the world that we got an even better place for all us to live in. And I'm concerned about my children. I'm concerned about the grandchildren. I already have grandchildren. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm a grandpa. I still feel like some days I still feel like a teenager. I don't know, and I wonder how I made it to be a grandpa already, but anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. On the inside, you still feel like a kid, But we have a great opportunity here to get together and change the world. Things are speeding up. If you're interested in becoming a whale, it's a bargain right now to do it now, right? By the time September rolls around, it's not going to be a bargain anymore. It's gonna be a good price, but it's not going to be a bargain. And so if you're interested in becoming a whale, then you definitely want to get a hold of me right away, and have a talk with me about that. Because we're not looking for millions of people to be a whale. We're looking for about 50, 60, 70 people. And that's it. We already have over 3,000 members. So, the whales are going to show up and then they're going to stick. And these are going to be the long-term celebrities of our organization, because they're the ones holding the most of our coins, so and they're going to get a lot of perks and benefits and all that, so they won't have any reason to sell. They'll be more interested in accumulating more, not selling, because of all the perks and rewards and benefits of being a whale with full funding. So that you guys don't have to worry about the whales crashing our coin, okay? Which is important. Sherry, you got your hand up. Go ahead, Sherry from Australia.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to Raquel, because, her and I were working closely together for like 5 weeks, and there was just us. And then all of a sudden, bam, everything exploded, and she's managing all her team so well. A few hiccups here and there, but she's kind of been thrown into the deep end, and she's doing an amazing job. So I just wanted to say congratulations. I'm proud of you, girl.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
Getting public recognition there, Raquel.
This group is awesome. I
Yeah,
feel very privileged to be here.
yeah. It's a privilege for all of us to be with each other, Thank you all for being here
Glad to have you
today.
here.
Yeah. We are just one happy group of people. So we're like in a happiness bubble, right? So we just want to expand this bubble as far out as we can get, and maybe one day the whole bubble will swallow up the whole world, and we can all be happy. Okay, how about that? All right, guys. So let's wrap it up now, and I just want to say thank you all again for coming. And everybody's allowed at the very end to unmute, and then you can just say bye to each other and see you later and all that kind of stuff. Okay, everybody unmute now and. Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Ace.
Bye.
Thank you,
Hey,
Hunter.
everyone.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Hasta luego.
Bye.